Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mindplex podcast. This is a special edition of the Mindplex podcast. We are here in Singapore at the SuperAI conference. And today we are talking to Angel Versetti, the CEO and founder of PrivateAI, a peer-to-peer data as a service network, secure environment for connecting prospective buyers and users. And Angel has been featured in Wall Street Journal, Forbes, and many more, and was even in the Forbes 30 under 30 for 2019. So welcome, Angel. We're very excited to have you on the show.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
So let's start out with a brief overview of PrivateAI.
Yes, so PrivateAI is a distributed infrastructure to help scientists, researchers, and data owners to monetize their data sets and intellectual property. In particular, this marketplace is tailored for the age of AI, meaning that we not only provide the data, but we also structure it in a way that's suitable for machine learning. Our platform is run on knowledge graphs, and they permit to extract data in a way that doesn't compromise its own security, so you don't have to reveal the original data, whilst all the lessons that can be learned from the data, all the patterns, all the interconnections and relations between different data points can be extracted and can be used by the companies that are training their own LLM solutions that want to get domain-specific knowledge and context-aware knowledge about a particular area. And we have built this platform specifically for the longevity space. So whilst the infrastructure itself is general purpose, it can be used for a variety of different applications. The team are particularly enthusiastic about life extension research that can be unlocked by combining these different kinds of data. So that's high level what PrivateAI is about. We are very much excited about what we can unlock using this information.
Neat. And tell us about your approach for using AI to monetize data.
Yes, so right now there is sort of a gold rush, if you will, amongst the different companies who are building their own Gen AI solutions, who are training their own LLMs. They are slowly becoming commodities, meaning that everybody kind of has more or less the same level of intelligence, the same level of reasoning, and so on. But people lack high quality, domain specific, verified data. And that's important because right now, most of Gen AI solutions, they're kind of like an average human being or an average level of expert. The problem is that average level of experts or average level of anything is not going to move the progress forward. So we do need to have solutions that are actually have the best information, that have the best verified information possible as well, and that they can actually move the progress forward with correct data, not with guesswork, not with unverified or poor data. So this is the specific problem we're trying to tackle. Most of these companies, of course, they're super well funded. So some of them have literal trillions of dollars behind them. So they don't have any issues of paying a lot of money for this data in order to stay ahead of their competitors. And that's the specific niche we're aiming to occupy. At the same time, lots of these companies, they basically accumulated a lot of the earlier layers of their data that they're trained on by scraping, by absorbing data that they could find free of charge. Most data owners were never compensated for it.
I was going to say, free of charge without asking.
Exactly, yeah. So there are lots of now legal cases and lawsuits and whatever about different stakeholders claiming that their intellectual property was used without their permission. So basically on that front, we are definitely working with giving the ownership of data back to these people and enabling them to monetize this data by providing it to these AI companies, but in a way that firstly, they don't have to give up their data entirely, so they can only open up parts of it. And that's where the whole knowledge graph solution comes in handy. And we keep the rest of it private, hence also our name PrivateAI, because we keep the data private. And secondly, we also, because they don't have to give up the original data, they can monetize it multiple times. So just like how royalties in NFTs permits owners or creators of the original NFT to continue earning royalties from their IP, or how patent owners may be compensated multiple times when their patent or IP is licensed out, in a similar fashion, we're enabling data owners to keep monetizing their data every time their data is accessed for training purposes. So we're really shifting the way that the data ownership is done, and we are structuring it for a way that's suitable for the AI economy.
Wow. Neat. And how does this really work in the real world in terms of, like, if I was like, okay, great, you sold me, I want to participate. What does somebody do?
Yes, so we have two kinds of participants. We have data providers and data acquirers. The more interesting part on the community and individual basis is definitely participation in sourcing the data. So the platform of ours, it works, if I were to put it in simpler terms, kind of like crowdsourcing of high quality scientific and research data. So we have established a number of collaborations with world leading universities such as Oxford, MIT, Stanford, Cambridge, ETH Zurich, and NUS in Singapore, to get some postdocs, professors, PhDs, and some other qualified scientists and researchers to submit their unpublished work, or to submit their raw data sets, or to submit any other kind of information that they feel could be utilized in a better way, especially anything on the publishing side. Right now, the problem of the academic world is that there's too much of publishing for the sake of publishing. There are thousands of papers being recalled every year because the information there was not accurate, was not properly verified, etc. So our goal is to firstly sieve out this irrelevant information, this noise. Secondly, it's to give value created by this research beyond just publishing, because most scientists themselves admit in every domain there are thousands of papers being published every month. There is no human being that can possibly read even 10% of that. So most of it just goes on, just they publish it and then it's there. And we are aiming to get more insights out of this data and put it all into one knowledge base. So we reward scientists and researchers who contribute these data sets to our platform. By contributing these data sets, initially they get a payout in PGPT, which is our native cryptocurrency. So they can already start participating in it just for the fun of it, to help advance the science and so on and so forth. But then if their data proves to be useful, they can actually start generating more money. Importantly, it's not only about pure monetization of it, we also encourage creation of some open source research projects or academic collaborations. And since I mentioned at the beginning that we are focused on longevity, one of the important aspects about longevity is that academically it's not a subject, it's just a framework, and people, the relevant researchers, they're scattered around different departments. Some of them are in biology department, some of them are in chemistry, some of them are in medicine department, and so on and so forth. So you have individual researchers who are working on the same mission. They're scattered between the different departments, which creates layers of bureaucracy, lack of core research opportunities, and lack of interaction between different stakeholders. So people have to keep reinventing the wheel. So that's the parts we solve on the data user side. That's the exciting part for the community. And then on the data acquirer side, we have companies, as I mentioned, they may be training their own LLMs, they may be building a data analytics companies, or even we now have a proliferation of ChatGPT-like products running an AI doctor, where people might go to get some general advice. The problem is it kind of gives you average advice. Oh, if you have a headache, take Tylenol or aspirin. It just gives you common sense, basic advice. It's obviously not suitable for anything that could give you more detailed medical advice or any personalized insights and so on. And that's what accessibility of medicine should be about. It should be about giving people actually more reasonable answers and backed by real science. So on the user side, the companies, especially companies who work on stuff like developing new drugs using AI, especially companies that are doing preventative medicine or personalized medicine, they plug into our system, they access the knowledge graphs to then look at what kind of other existing research backs up certain claims or backs up certain areas of research, where they can get more insights. Okay, my claim is actually substantiated by 200 other credible researchers, so they can actually give more substance to their claims. Because again, the problem of longevity today is that the vast majority of claims that are made are unsubstantiated, purely because longevity-based companies do not have the money or time to run real clinical trials. So people kind of buy it based on marketing alone, which is also not great.
It's kind of funny. They don't have the time for their longevity trials.
Yeah, which by the way is very interesting, is where AI also comes in, and that's what we hope to do in the future, where you could actually simulate clinical trials using all the information gathered through AI as well. So where you could simulate passage of time, because in the end, it's indeed, if we're trying to measure whether something has impact on life expectancy of a human being, then you need literally like a lifetime of a human being to validate it, which is unreasonable in our current space. And if we could simulate this in a digital environment where the passage of time could be quicker, where we could simulate living cells and some other parts of organism and aging processes, then we could actually run these accelerated trials But that's so far a bit of a vision into the future because
Yeah, I
we
was gonna
haven't even been
say,
able.
just a dream right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for now it is. But we're hoping that by collecting all this relevant data related to longevity, we might actually also help accelerate that particular research angle.
Neat. All right. Well, it all sounds very exciting, Angel. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And we look
My pleasure.
forward to keeping in touch with you as things progress, and we'll talk to you in the future. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye. Sweet dreams, everybody.